Welcome back to the channel, Lancers. I hope that all is well with everyone. I'm actually getting over a bit of a cold myself. It's been a rough week. I'm hoping to finish many more videos to upload to the channel over the course of the next few weeks to help everyone prepare for the Cataclysm. Each video will highlight Grandmaster 3 builds, loadouts, and tips in preparation for the new content. If you enjoyed this video and find it helpful, then please remember to like and subscribe for more Anthem content. Also, share the video and help spread positive support for Anthem. Alright, in this video, we'll be covering one of my go-to Interceptor builds for Grandmaster 3 content. This build is a high-risk, high-reward, all-in build. The loadout requires you to go all into a group of enemies to charge your ultimate to ensure that you constantly have an ultimate charged and ready to unleash. This requires good positioning and sound decision making. The constant ultimate makes it possible to clear Grandmaster 3 content solo because you are invulnerable to damage while you are in your ultimate state. Therefore, because of this, this is a great solo or team build. The tactic of the loadout is to utilize your primers and melee detonator in quick succession in 1v1 or 1v2 scenarios to combo to gain ultimate charge. In groups of 3 or more enemies, the tactic is to utilize Viper's Bite to rapidly gain ultimate charge by effectively hitting all 3 or more enemies in quick succession and fully charging the ultimate meter. Viper's Bite is the central tool in this loadout and should be maximized when you are confident that going all in will completely charge your ultimate. In the current patch 1.2.0, with the nerf to some enemies like brutes, this build has become even stronger. Brutes, for example, like to body block for weakened enemies, which causes them to group up, allowing for more opportunities to charge your ultimate. This build exploits many of the game mechanics, such as the one previously mentioned regarding brutes. Another one of these being the one-shot mechanic. Some enemy abilities and attacks will deplete all of your shields and leave your armor in critical status in one instant. You can exploit this mechanic with the emergency power component. With proper positioning, execution, and timing, you can effectively have 2 ultimates every 2 minutes with each javelin. With this loadout on the Interceptor, you can actually have more. Also, in the gameplay in the background, I have included clips that display each of my talking points and how they can be executed effectively. Feel free to rewatch those points. This next clip highlights how you can confidently engage a group of high-level enemies in Grandmaster 3 free play on spawn, knowing that you will sustain critical damage to your armor, activating the emergency power component to immediately have another ultimate to slay your enemies and finish the fight. So let's head into the Lion's Den and get into how this build works. We'll begin with the strike systems because this is the integral part of this loadout. Oh, and you may notice that many of my inscriptions are similar on my legendary items. I'll link that video in the description on how you can get the same type inscriptions. So for the strike systems, we have Viper's Bite. Viper's Bite is an upgraded venom spray. Spray is a cone of acid. Hitting an enemy adds 7 ultimate charges. The key inscriptions here, 200% gear charges and 100% gear charges. This allows me to have 4 charges of the venom spray to quickly build my ultimate. Next we have Serpent Veil, which is the upgraded venom bomb. Drenches target area in acid. Striker's venom. Melee hits increase all acid damage by 200% for 10 seconds. Key inscriptions, 200% gear charges, 100% gear charges. Next, we'll be moving on to the support systems. Here, we'll be using the target beacon. The target beacon locks onto a target, reducing their resistances by 33%. When defeating an enemy, it jumps to another. Key inscriptions, 100% combo aura effect. For the Interceptor, when detonating a combo, the javelin will then pulsate the primer around the javelin, dealing pulsating damage. This inscription increases that rate by 100%. For our primary weapon, we'll be using Rauner's Blaze. Rauner's Blaze is an upgraded hammerhead, the hardest hitter in the assault class. The Rauner's Blaze ignites the target while on a hit streak of 5. This is key because we'll be detonating combos with the Rauner's Blaze and then following up with acid for another detonation. Key inscriptions here, 200% weapon damage and 75% weapon damage. Both are inscriptions that I have prioritized in the past. Next, for our sidearm, we'll be using the Retaliation of Garitas. Upgraded trajector, longer range with lower rate of fire. Gambler's Wrath, when suit health declines, weapon damage increases by 400% for 10 seconds. Key inscriptions here, 95% shield max and 25% overall damage with the javelin. This will affect the ultimate and every weapon system on the javelin. Next, we'll be moving on to the components. First, we'll be using Emergency Power. Emergency Power is an inscribed component that augments javelin ultimate gear and increases damage by 30% of base. Ultimate meter refills instantly when armor is critically damaged, can occur once every 120 seconds. For this component, this is actually different than the one that I've used in the past, and these inscriptions are 90% armor max and 9% damage to the javelin. Next, we have the Elusive Talisman. The Elusive Talisman increases weapon damage by 25%, dashing 3 times, refills both weapons' magazine. Key inscriptions that I prioritized, 18% ultimate speed, 20% ultimate speed. This build relies on the ultimate. These inscriptions are key because it allows me to passively generate ultimate charge quickly. Next, we'll be using the universal component Bloodlust, an inscribed component that increases melee weapon damage by 30% of base, increasing melee damage by 75% for 10 seconds when killing an enemy by using melee. Key inscriptions, 28% gear damage and 1% damage resist. Next, we have the Way of Resolve. Additionally, increases interceptor melee damage by 10%. Dashing increases melee damage by 40% for 10 seconds. Key inscriptions, 20% ultimate speed. So moving on here, we have Vengence Matrix. Increases all damage dealt by 50% and damage taken by negative 25%. So it increases your damage, and then the damage that you take is not at 100%, but it is at 75%. On low armor, damage taken is reduced by an additional 50% for 10 seconds. Key inscriptions, 23% ultimate speed. For our final component, we have Soften Blows. Increases javelin shields by a large amount. Increases damage resistance by 75% for 5 seconds when shields run out. Key inscriptions, 28% weapon damage, 18% weapon damage. So for a quick overview, for the weapons we have Rauner's Blaze in the primary slot, secondary, Retaliation of Garitas, gear, Viper's Bite, Serpent Veil, support, Target Beacon. For the components, Emergency Power, Elusive Talisman, Bloodlust, Way of Resolved, Vengence Matrix, and Soften Blows. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, then please like and subscribe for more Anthem content. Also, share the video and help spread positive support for Anthem and help grow this channel. And if you have some Grandmaster 3 tier builds that you would like me to consider, then let me know as well. I may actually cover it and post with crediting the creator of the build. Thank you again for watching.